What is good feelings? So I just got back from seeing the notorious Joker Folie Deux on some real shit. Hopefully I'm saying the title right, bro. I'm not Italian, I'm a nigga. So Folie Deux, of course, is Joker 2. The storyline starts off basically with Arthur now in prison for his crimes that he committed last movie. Last movie, whenever Joker 1 ended, I remember it being a huge thing where basically like they're like, is the whole thing actually real? Did he imagine this entire thing? Because I remember him walking out of the fucking confessional for the finale of the last movie, kind of like dancing or whatever, and people were like, how exactly would he just walk out? And I remember the like screen kind of fading to white, so they're like, is this all a dream? Like, did he even fucking kill this nigga? Well, this movie does answer that completely wholeheartedly by saying yes, he did kill everybody inside the last movie that he killed. Like, everything that we saw was in fact real. All this shit was real, even down to him like imagining the whole storyline with him dating Zazie Beetz. I think her character's name was like Olivia or something inside the movie. Everything was real. So this movie starts off by him being in prison from those actions. The Arthur Fleck we see from the last movie is way different than the one we see inside this movie, because now he's like completely mute for the first like 20 minutes of the movie. I ain't gonna hold you all. He doesn't talk. Cops are consistently asking, yo, tell us a joke. Yo, you got a joke for us today? Yo, you gonna make us smile and laugh today? Which I guess that was the thing he did in the past when he first came. But now he's at the point where he's been in prison so long and he has nothing else to really live for, so they keep, tormenting with this question. Yo, tell us a joke, tell us a joke, tell us a joke. And that's kind of how the movie starts, bro. Now we'll kind of go into an in-depth, spoiler-filled review. This is not a spoiler-free review. I will be talking nothing but spoilers inside this entire movie, because I really want to get my in-depth feeling on how I feel about Joker 2 Folie Deux. So if you want to, speak it for yourself, which I highly recommend you go watch it yourself, form your own opinion on this, because I'm seeing a lot of people kind of like, hey, everybody hates this movie, bro. I ain't gonna hold you all. Everybody despises this movie. So I highly recommend you go and see for yourself. As always, inform your own opinion, because what somebody else says on the internet should not form your entire opinion. If you see somebody say something that's ass, go try it out and see how you feel about it yourself. Don't just be a fucking yo, he said it was ass, so it's definitely ass. So, movie starts off, mute, does not talk. Until, of course, he meets the character of Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn inside this movie is not a psychologist. I know inside the original lore and comic books, she is like a psychologist. She's somebody that kind of talks to him and goes over, just different things about his psyche and stuff like that. And then she eventually ends up falling in love with him. But inside this movie, she is a prisoner that's a part of the Arkham Asylum as well. So she's inside there, also an insane person like he is. They meet through kind of like a little chorus group inside the movie. And of course, this movie is a musical all through and through. So if you don't like musicals, I can see, I guess, how you won't like this movie. But the musical is an important aspect of this film. Like, it's very hammered into your head that the musicals and the reason that he's singing and dancing through all these scenes is because it's all inside of his head. Like, none of this shit is actually real. This is actually time that he's like imagining all this stuff. And it really shows how crazy this person is. So like, somebody will like ask him a question and he'll go into a whole like musical number, dancing and singing and stuff like that. Not as crazy as people were making it seem. I thought it was gonna be like a full out fucking like Into the Woods or some crazy ass High School Musical, Zac Efron dropping down from the ceiling, yo, and just start dancing, everybody dancing around and shit like that. But only people dancing and singing is really the two main characters. Nobody really joins in. There's not people doing fucking dancing scenes with him. Nobody's like doing fucking kick lines and shit like that. None of that's ever happened, bro. The only people really singing and dancing are the people that he considers, the main characters of his life. So it'll be him doing some titles and Harley Quinn doing some songs and stuff like that. So like, it's like only them two are doing it. And if like people are dancing along with it, it's only because they're like sitting down and like the scene is them hearing the music. So of course they'll be like smiling and going like this, like while they're seated. And it's not going to be like a huge musical number. But I saw this happening because it's really trying to hammer in how crazy this guy is. Like, his mental health and mental period is completely destroyed. Like, he's inside prison. He's not able to make anybody happy and laugh anymore. That was his whole like ideology. He thought he was put here on this planet to make people smile. And now he realizes that everybody hates him, except of course the people that see him as the Joker. There's like two extremes of people inside this movie. One, the people that can't stand him, And two, the people that are overfatuated with him, like the people that are just like, I don't even know if that's a fucking word, over in love with them, over dick riders, whatever the fuck you want to call it, bro. He has this group. Like, imagine how like the insane clown posse group is, my nigga. Like the way they feel about the IPC niggas, whatever the fuck the fucking thing is, my nigga. That's how they feel about this. Like, they love this man that is Joker, but they love the persona of Joker. How they feel about Arthur Fleck is a completely different thing, bro. They think that this man is actually basically an alter ego, two different personalities inside one body, basically. And that's kind of what the movie is about. He's going to trial, of course, for everything that he's did, but the lawyer wants to make an argument saying like, yo, he's not inside of his right mind. Everything that he does when he kills people is this alter ego known as the Joker. Like, anything bad that he's done, where he killed the people inside the subway, where he killed, of course, Murray inside the finale, the end act, when he killed his mom, whenever he killed that guy that, you know, used to work for him or whatever, worked with him, the employee dude, when he stabbed him and shit like that. They're saying that everybody he killed was because of this alter ego that is considered the Joker. It's not Arthur Fleck himself. So if he is going to be in prison, we should put him inside like a, you know, a mental institution, not an actual jail. Like, he should not be inside jail. He should be inside a, you know, an institution where he can like get help and therapist help and stuff like that. He can be on probation, you know, that sort of thing. So that's the argument the lawyer is trying to make. The prosecutor is Harvey Dent. If you don't know who Harvey Dent is, my nigga, Harvey Dent is Two-Face. He is saying, yo, no, everything that man is doing is Arthur Fleck. He's doing that on his own volition. He's not crazy. Everything he's done is sane of mind, and this man needs to be inside prison for killing these 5 people, one of them being on live television and scarring probably hundreds and thousands of people across America. He needs to be inside jail. Harvey Dent, as you know, does eventually turn into Two-Face, and it's cool how they kind of do that scene inside this movie, but I'll get to that whenever they get to it. So, he goes to the whole trial and stuff like that. This is after, you know, a few musical numbers between Harley Quinn and Joker, which are very entertaining to watch. I ain't gonna hold you. I've seen a lot of takes saying that the musicals had nothing to do with the movie. That's just simply not true. Like, anything that I saw going inside this movie was not true, bro. I just saw nothing but people shitting on it, nothing but people hating on it, nothing but people just talking crazy about it, talking shit about it, bro. And honestly, I might be the first person ever to say this shit. This movie, in my opinion, was close to Joker 1. If not as good, it's definitely teeters like very close to it in some real shit, bro. Like, I went to it, you know, with another homie of mine who is also very critical of movies, and he was saying the exact same thing, bro. Because we went into it kind of like hearing these bad reviews, like, bro, people are really shitting on this. Like, people think this movie is fucking terrible. We gotta go see it for ourselves because we love Joker 1. We went and saw that movie together as well. So we went and watched Joker 2 and was like, bro, this movie was damn near like, it was a masterclass. Like, honestly, like, this shit was, I want to say amazing, bro. Like, it wasn't just a good movie. Like, everything that we saw inside this was very good, bro. Like, I don't know what exactly people didn't like about this movie. I saw a lot of people saying the musicals, you know, didn't matter inside of it. A lot of people saying the fucking dialogue was corny. I saw people saying that the movie itself was corny. And that's why I told you guys, go watch it for yourself before you form your own opinion, bro. Because, like, if I would have thought the entire thing was ass and really just listened to them niggas, I would have never went and saw this shit. And I wouldn't have gotten experience, you know, the movie that is Joker 2. So anyway, they're in the trial, going back and forth. She's saying these are the reasons that he's in 2 personalities. You know, he's talking to different people that he met inside his life. They bring out Zazie Beetz. They bring out, you know, the short guy that was inside the first one. And all these characters are saying, yo, the person that I saw on that screen when he shot the fucking, the night show host, that is not the guy I've known. He was, like, you know, a little off, but, like, that guy was not this, like, crazy extroverted, hey, Murray! Like, that was not the same nigga that we saw when we knew him. He was kind of crazy, and yes, he was obsessed with me and made up this whole storyline inside of his head. But that man was the Joker, and the man that we know is Arthur Fleck. Both off, but one completely insane, and one kind of like, you know, quiet and, you know, insecure and stuff like that. Like, it's 2 different people, clearly. Everybody was saying that. So the case was kind of, you know, I thought it was gonna be dead set towards Arthur kind of winning this shit. Like, you know, the defender was gonna win and he was gonna get to go to like fucking, you know, just some other asylum or some shit and be protected and get to like get therapy help and stuff like that. And then he would eventually become like the Joker that we all knew, I guess, by tricking them all and being like, actually, no, it all is me or some shit. Like, I don't know. I thought it was gonna be like ending like that basically. But he ends up firing his, you know, defender in front of everybody because he ends up switching to the alter ego that is Joker. Another thing to note inside these movies, anytime you see him doing a musical number, it'll usually be like him sitting there quiet, and then somebody will say something, and then the music number will kind of just start from him singing and stuff like that. And I think those moments that we're seeing is him going from Arthur Fleck and like the transformation into Joker through the musical number. So he'll go from like a quiet guy and be like, I wanna sing, and then you'll see him like kind of get up slowly and then get all extroverted and stuff like that inside the musical numbers, and then after the musical number ends, then he's Joker. Like, now he's all of a sudden like, alright guys, what are we doing inside here? Like, I think those are supposed to be like the transformation scenes that we're seeing in real time, bro. Like, instead of him just like switching immediately, which is what happened in real life, we're seeing the process through his mind and what he sees. Because, of course, he's taught throughout his entire life to be like, you know, make everybody smile and be performative and stuff like that. So he's seeing in his mind, yo, musical numbers, I always wanted to be a star. Stars are formed through musical and theatrics and stuff like that. So I'm going to be this guy that is the Joker, and I'm going to get there by going through an entire musical number. That's what we see. The people in the audience don't see stuff like that. I think there was like one time they saw them singing and that was like real. It was in this moment where kind of like it's also set up basically that Harley Quinn is an arsonist inside this movie. That's why she apparently went to prison. So they had this kind of like scene where they're watching this movie and she gets up, sets something on fire, and they almost escape from prison. And they're singing throughout that entire part. So I think that's the only time where like they're actually singing is when they're singing during that part. But other than that, I'm pretty sure it's all inside of his mind. Because there's even one part at the beginning of the story where he's singing, you know, to the other prisoners. He's singing to the cops and stuff like that, and they're all kind of like dancing around. And then somebody snaps him out of him and was like, Arthur, what do you think? And he's like still in the same spot that he was before the musical started. So I think everything is inside his mind, and it's just that transformation process. But he does fire the defender after going through one of those long musical scenes. And now he's Joker, and he's like, all right, I'm firing you. I want to be my own defender. I want to be the lawyer to get myself out of jail. And of course, everybody inside the audience that is a jury, I'm pretty sure, is all a part of it. People that like love him as the Joker, and they start cheering and stuff because they see him, you know, become Joker in real time. Like, yeah, there he is, going crazy and shit like that. To explain what I'm about to say, I need to really hash in how some people overlove the people that they see on screens and TVs and stuff. I don't know if you guys have ever met a stan in person, but I know a lot of you niggas have probably seen a stan over like Twitter or social media and stuff like that. A stan is somebody that is overly obsessed with somebody to the point that they live, breathe, and dick ride that person until their ass is raw. Like they love this person beyond anything else, and there is nothing that they can change their opinion about them. Joker has an entire group of stans. Like, they're not fans, they are overly stans of this person. It is explained that Harley Quinn inside this movie is only in love with him because she is a stan of Joker. She doesn't care for Arthur Fleck. Nobody that's a stan of him cares for Arthur Fleck at all. They love the Joker. They're a stan of the Joker. When they see the Joker, they're like, yo, I will do anything for that person. I don't give a fuck. All in all to say, there's a stan that also is inside the prison with Joker. I need to say that before I kind of go into like the ending scene of this movie. So, during the trial, you know, Joker is finally being the lawyer for himself. He fired his other lawyer. Harvey Dent is obviously, you know, losing at this point because he's like winning the audience over and stuff like that, winning the jury over. In my opinion anyway, he's really like hashing out the point that these are two different people and doing a good job of it. There's an Arthur Fleck, obviously, and there's a Joker, obviously. And him going from like a quiet person to immediately in the Joker form is kind of like really hashing out the point like, oh, this guy really might be crazy. And I think that if he would have kept doing that, he would have genuinely won the entire case, because there was a clear, stark difference between Joker and Arthur Fleck. So he's in Joker form, asking this guy questions, asking the little dude that was inside the first movie that, you know, had to jump up and like couldn't unlock the door and was like, oh, think you unlock the door for me? And then Joker got up and did that shit. He's interviewing him and he's like, yo, am I the same person you knew? And the little guy's like, no, you're not. Like, literally at all. You have me scared. I'm traumatized from you. You said you only let me out of that room, you know, to save me, but you have not saved me. You ruined my life. I've not been able to sleep since that night. You killed one of my closest friends. I haven't been able to get a job because I'm like just constantly having like night terrors and can't go to sleep. Like, you completely ruined my fucking life. And I like in movies whenever they like completely hash out characters that were kind of like useless in the first one. So like characters like him, and of course Zazie Beetz wasn't useless, but all in all, in that movie, like, she wasn't actually experiencing that stuff. Like, none of that stuff actually happened. So her real life character in real life should be considered useless, but she's like, yeah, I mean, when his mom would speak to me, she would call this guy like an upstanding citizen and she loves him and stuff like that. He just has a weird laugh and he's fucking off, but that's not the same person that I saw on TV that night. Like, I've only had 2 experiences with him, is when his mom would talk about him and what I saw on TV that night and when he was in my room that night. And I really feel like if I would have called the cops on him from busting in my house that night, then none of this would have happened. So she's feeling regret. The little guy's feeling like traumatized from this happening. Like, characters are actually feeling stuff from Joker. And Arthur Fleck and Joker, you know, Arthur Fleck / Joker is understanding that at this point. Like, that the things and people he comes into contact with aren't happy. His entire ideology is, yo, I want to make people happy. I want to make people sad. I want to make people smile and stuff like that. And obviously, everybody I'm coming into contact with is not experiencing that. They're completely traumatized. They're sad. They're depressed. What I'm setting out to do is not working. Like, I'm just not a good person, and I understand that now. He's saying that, you know, and stuff, and, you know, inside his mind and stuff, you kind of see the character start to understand that more and more. So he gets to a point where, you know, it gets, you know, they do the, you know, defense, or they do the guilty, not guilty thing. The jury stands up and is like, yo, what do you think this person is? And before they say that, Joker kind of says, like, he stands up and he's like, yo, after staring for the camera for a long time, like, he has this wake-up call of basically like, yo, I'm not the Joker. Like, anything that I said, anything that I did was as Arthur Fleck. Like, there never was this Joker person. I really am like this. He comes straight out and is like, yo, like, Joker doesn't exist. I'm the one that killed those 5 people. I'm not crazy. There is no multiple personality disorder. Like, I was only told to kind of like say that by my defender. Like, I was doing all this of right and sound mind. So he completely kind of like just rides off the Joker character, because he realizes the Joker character is kind of somebody that is only putting people into damage. It hurts Zazie Beetz. It hurts the little guy he thought he was looking out for. It killed his mom. It killed Murray. It killed those 3 people in the subway. There's people in this movie that gets killed off or whatever. One of his friends inside the jail ended up, you know, getting killed off because he was going through bullshit, and they got mad at Joker, but they couldn't take it out on Joker, so they took it out on him instead. Like, it's only done harm for people that he's cared about, basically. It's only done harm for people. So he finally comes out to everybody like, yo, there never was a Joker. I am just Arthur Fleck. I was doing all this stuff because I was angry at these people, and obviously I wasn't making anybody happier by doing this. So I'm fessing up to y'all. There never was a Joker. It has only been me the entire time. The reason I brought up stands is because I said they live, breathe, and, you know, dick ride this person to no wit's end. So imagine telling a stan, as the person they stand, like, yo, all that shit was fake. I can't really sing. I can't really dance. Any person y'all been seeing on TV is a body double. I'm just a regular person. I am not who you guys have looked up to. I am not who you guys have loved. I am not who you guys have been obsessed with. I am not that person. I am just a regular ass nigga that does regular ass things. Everybody, after they heard that inside the jury, stood up and was like, yo, what the fuck? I'm getting the fuck up out of here. Like, I don't like this dude anymore, because their image of this person was just shattered in front of their very eyes. Getting told the Joker doesn't exist, getting told that there's no reason to even be here and watch this guy anymore because he really is just some crazy nigga. Like, we don't even have an idol anymore. We don't have somebody to look up to anymore. Like, this person just said the Joker is not real. He said it himself. It's all been an act, you know, to make people happy or whatever the fuck. So they all get up and leave. Even Harley Quinn is like, man, because she only stand the Joker to begin with. Like, she didn't like Arthur Fleck, as I said earlier. She only loved the Joker. And everybody in the world that was in love with the Joker just got told that the Joker did not exist by the person that was, quote unquote, the Joker. Hopefully that makes sense. I explained it as best as I could. If it doesn't make sense, go watch it for yourself and it'll be explained a lot better. But that's kind of the best way I can try to explain to myself. So nobody in the world fucks with Arthur Fleck at this point because they have no reason to even like him anymore. He basically says like, yo, I just want to like blow up this whole personality because I just want to blow it up. Like, I can't stand this personality. I want to be just myself. So let me just be arrested. Like, I want to go to prison. I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm just causing nothing but danger for all these people. And they're like, all right, bet. So they go to read, you know, whether or not he's guilty. He gets 2 guilties in a row, and it's playing like music in the background. It's a really cinematic scene. And I will say that as well, this movie was extremely cinematic. The shots inside this movie were amazing. There's a lot of shots of him smoking with like a spotlight in the background. The makeup was amazing. The dance numbers were amazing. Like, I liked honestly everything about this movie. Like, I don't have one bad hatred for this movie at all. I'm gonna go see it again, actually. I'm gonna see it twice, you know, really get to like watch the movie while already knowing the ending now. Like, I didn't know the ending going into it. I saw a leak, but it wasn't the leak made no sense after watching this. I'll show you guys what the leak is in a minute. But like, now that I know what's gonna happen and now that I know everything that happens in the movie, I want to watch it from the beginning, like really see what's an act, what's a part of this fucking musical number, what's real, what's fake. I want to watch it all, just kind of like to take it all in completely. So they're reading off the guilties. And on the third guilty, as I said earlier, when he said that sentence, he was like, I want to just blow it all up. One of the stands took that to heart and was like, nah, fuck that. This really is the Joker. I don't care what he says. And kind of like just blew up the entire, like blew out a fucking wall of the damn jury. Like, it blows up. He kind of like flies back and like hits his head or whatever the fuck. And of course, that's when we get the, you know, iconic scene, my nigga. Like, it's panning around, showing all the people kind of just laying there or whatever the fuck. Arthur Fleck is like slowly getting up, and as it pans by Harvey Dent, of course, he has now been turned into Two-Face. Like, I love like when you get like the iconic scenes that you think is gonna happen, but it finally shows it. Like, of course, we know all these characters are gonna become who they are, but like, you want to know like, how does it happen inside this scene? So the explosion happens, and like half of fucking Harvey Dent's face is like blown up. Now he's like, and like half of it's cool. So it becomes Two-Face in that moment. I don't know. We're never gonna see what that character gets to do after that, because I think the director said this is kind of done after this movie. But it was cool seeing them become Two-Face in this movie. It was actually pretty dope. Arthur Fleck stands up. He walks out. It doesn't show who blew the wall out, but you understand that it's like one of the people that were standing him or whatever. He walks past this guy that's like dressed as Joker, and he's like, yo, it's him. Yo, we gotta save him. They grab him and like put him inside this car and like try to escape with him to get him to safety. Because like I said, they look at this guy like a martyr. They look at him like some type of fucking a god basically, and they want him to be in safe, and they want to kind of like, you know, don't say all that bullshit like you're not the Joker. You are the Joker. And we're gonna prove that to you. And like kind of like building up to be this crazy ass villain basically. But Arthur Fleck knows in his heart of hearts that that's not him. So whenever they're at a light or whatever, he gets out the car and then runs away, and he ends up going back to the Bronx steps where he was doing that like kicking thing inside the first movie, you know, that long ass staircase. And on that staircase is Harley Quinn. She's kind of sitting up there, and he runs to her and is like, yo, we can go now. You know, we can love each other. We can be together finally. And then she starts singing, and she's like, you know, you're not who you say you are. And like, you think another musical number is gonna start, but he's like, no, stop singing. Like, we can go now. It's okay, we can go. But she keeps on singing, and it's like a really sad scene, because it's like, now that he's in his right mind and he's killed off that Joker, there are no more musical numbers, which is why I think the entire thing was building up to like, you know, the musical numbers are when he's transforming into Joker. Because when she starts singing in this final scene, he's like, no, I don't want to sing. Like, I want to be with you as myself. I don't want to, no, I mean, I love you. And she, of course, like I said, is only in love with the Joker. So she tells him, you lied to me. You were never the Joker. You were just this sorry ass man that needs to be in prison, basically. Like, you're just a normal guy that's crazy. You're not some crazy ass being that is the Joker. As we all know who Joker is. Joker is a fucking iconic character. Arthur is saying, I'm not that. I never was that. So she's like, man, fuck that bullshit. I don't want to be with you then. If you're not that man, then I don't want to see you anymore. You Arthur Fleck, get your bum ass out my face. So he starts like, just standing there in defeat. She gets up, walks away. The police come behind him. He gets arrested and goes back to prison. So now obviously he's probably either gonna get the death sentence immediately because he caused this big ass explosion and caused like at least like 30 niggas to die. I don't even know if it says who all died, but I know that there was a lot of niggas that were not moving inside that crowd. So he's either getting the death sentence immediately or he's gonna be in prison for the rest of his life. He's sitting there kind of like watching this cartoon or whatever inside a room with a whole bunch of people. I will say that what is about to happen next is kind of what people don't fuck with, but the reason I've been explaining the stan culture to you is to accumulate why exactly this scene is happening, why exactly I love this scene, because it makes perfect sense if you just have above a 5th grade reading level. In all honesty, like I think that anybody that said this movie was bad or stupid or some shit, I think it's genuinely just watching a screen and not taking anything in. Like their brain isn't calculating. Like they're just looking at the screen like the niggas in SpongeBob. Like well, this shit just going inside their eyes and out their ears. Like they're not taking anything in and like actually thinking about stuff. So as I said, people that were stan just saw their idol shatter in front of them, so they clearly see this man as somebody that's been faking being the Joker the entire time. They still crazy, but they now see this man as like, why do we even fucking look up to you? So the police come inside, like, Arthur, yo, somebody wants to speak to you. And he's like, all right, bet, say less. It never shows who wanted to speak to him. I guess it was going to be like somebody on the other side of the, when people sit in front of the glass to talk to somebody. I don't think there ever was a person there for him. I think genuinely it was going to be like, I think it was a setup. I think the entire thing was a setup. I think the police were supposed to bring him out of that room so that whatever can happen will happen in this exact moment. So as he's walking, some guy stops him and is like, yo, Joker. And he kind of like just turns around. He's like, yo, like, of course he's not the Joker anymore, but he'll still like talk to this nigga basically. And the cops keep walking. That's why I think it's like a setup, because they don't stop. Like they hear some guy call after the Joker and Joker stops and they don't like, yo, come on. Like they don't grab him and then pull him over. The cops just keep walking around the corner and never come back. Like this scene is at least like 10 minutes long and the cops never come back for Joker. Like at some point they had to turn around and realize the nigga wasn't there and ran back to go get him. Like they never come back. That's why I think this is genuinely a setup. So the guy's like, yo, you're the guy that's been on TV and you're the guy that said that wasn't the Joker. Can I tell you a joke? And the guy's like, and then Arthur Fleck is like, yeah, sure, I'll hear a joke. And the guy goes through a long ass joke about like, there was this psychopath that walked into a bar one time and he saw that somebody, he used to look up to was all down and depressed and sitting at a bar and drinking himself to death basically. And he realized at that point that this guy wasn't who he's looked up to the entire time. He's a regular guy that gets sad like he does. So he tells himself, if he's just like me, then what's the point of looking up to him? He's a depressed piece of shit like anybody else. And then Arthur kind of like smiles a little bit and it was like, cool. And then the guy kind of like laughs and then like, yeah, I see you. And then it's just like start stabbing the fuck out of him basically. Like it's a crazy scene because it's like, if I didn't like, so the leak said that this is gonna happen and I saw the leak, but I didn't really think that was actually gonna happen until it actually happened in the scene. And the leak, I'll talk about the leak in a second because niggas are genuinely dumbasses, bro. Like whoever wrote that leak is like probably the dumbest nigga in the entire fucking world on some real shit. So he basically is stabbing Arthur Fleck. And then Arthur Fleck has a flashback to a musical that he did earlier in the movie where Harley Quinn betrayed him and shot him and he like is holding his stomach And obviously when it flashes back to real life, he starts holding the same spot where he got stabbed. So I don't know if that was like some sort of like foreshadowing or premonition, but most likely it was. So he's like just kind of standing there. And then the guy that said that starts laughing, like the Joker would basically. He's like, ha, 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 and just starts laughing at him basically. So you see, Arthur kind of like sunk down and hit his head and like go against the ground and like just start slowly dying. And the camera is focused on him, but you can still see the guy in the background. And the guy in the background is like laughing like the Joker would and stuff like that. And then as he's laughing, you can see like his blurry hand kind of go up and like cut his mouth would, boom, like that. So I think you can kind of put two and two together that Arthur Fleck, is not the real Joker, and the guy that killed him will end up eventually being the real Joker. Like, that is the real Joker, I'm pretty sure, inside this universe, and Arthur Fleck was kind of just setting him up the entire time. And that's why I went through stan cultures, because this guy, like he said inside of his joke, he looked up to somebody his entire life. He saw you. It even shows him, if you go back and watch the movie, or if you've seen the movie, this guy is shown throughout the entire movie, like always smiling at Joker. It'll always show him in the background. It'll always show him like, because even when I was watching my friend, I was like, yo, that guy, like, it keeps showing him over and over again. Like, he's always smiling and he's always like looking up at him, or he's always just like staring out in the background, like kind of just like admiring him. Like, I'm not gonna ever talk to him. I'm not gonna ever touch him, but I love what this man is doing. And it's always showing him throughout the entire fucking movie. And then at the end, when Joker finally says, yo, I'm not him, never was, and kills off the Joker character, it must immediately snap this nigga's mind like, man, who the fuck are you then? If you're not gonna be the Joker, nigga, then I am. So obviously, he kills him, and the final scene is like the guy like laughing, like, of course, he becomes the actual Joker. Love this scene as well. This entire storyline went perfectly with the first one, bro. Like, the first one is about him wanting to make people happy, but you see how crazy it is. And the second one is about him being shown how crazy, what's like we're seeing inside his mind and stuff, because like, we didn't get to see all this stuff in his mind. The reason I think this movie is a musical is because this is what's happening inside his mind that we didn't see inside the first one. Like, of course, in the first movie, y'all remember when he was like standing in the bathroom and that thing was like, nah, nah, and he starts like dancing and shit like that? Or even when he's doing the fucking kicks and stuff on the stairs. All these scenes are culmination of what's happening inside of his mind. Like, it could be some crazy ass musical number inside of his mind, but inside the first one, all we see is like him just kind of like dance for a little bit and then just kind of walk out the bathroom, or dance a little bit on the stairs and then kind of just walk to the fucking talk show or whatever. But inside his mind, there are like huge musical numbers of him transforming into the Joker. I remember in the first one, whenever that bathroom scene happened, he went in as Arthur Fleck, he danced, and then kind of like walked out as like a confident Joker. Like, all these are transformations into Joker. It says that in the first one, and now I guess now that you've seen the second one, it does that. It makes sense for it to be doing in the first one. Love the musical parts of it. Love the storylines. Love how the characters have been affected by this character of Joker. Loved how the transformation of Harvey Dent happened inside this movie. Love seeing the stands completely lose their mind and what the effect of that is going to be, or what the effect of that was. Every side of the movie is good, bro. Like, honestly don't have anything bad about the movie. Cinematics were great. Cinematography was amazing. Camera shots. There's a lot of, if I feel like cinematography kind of culminates to like, if you can make a wallpaper out of it, then it's fire. There's a lot of shots like that inside the movie where you can just easily have a wallpaper of him just like, I don't know, you gotta watch it for yourself, but there's a lot of good shots inside this movie. Even the fucking niggas won't admit they said it now, but I remember on Twitter whenever she drew that like lipstick thing, and like he kind of like used this stuff to fit that, a lot of people on Twitter were like, yo, this is the best. People don't know how hard this is in cinematography to do, bro. Like, that shot is so crazy. That scene was just as crazy inside the movie, and it makes it even better now that you've seen the movie and like why she does that on the glass. I like everything about this movie, bro. Honestly, if not a 10 out of 10, I'll give it like at least a 9 out of 10. I really thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Like I said, go see it for yourself. I felt this movie strong. The ending was strong to me. It ends off at him, creating the Joker, the real Joker. that's clearly somebody that's lost their damn mind actually, and not somebody that's, convinced themselves they lost their mind. And I think that was kind of like a big theme of the movie too. That was kind of like whether or not he truly was crazy or not. And I think there was a lot of crazy aspects about him, but all in all, he still was doing all that because he was trying to be like this good person. Like, he thinks that the only people that he really killed inside the movie was people that he thought was like trying to harm him or trying to, bully him or make fun of him or just kill him off or whatever the fuck. Like, that's the only people he really harmed in the first one. Like, he didn't kill Zazie Beetz. He didn't kill the short guy that was nice to him the entire movie. Like, he wasn't killing people that were being good to him. And he even wasn't going to kill Murray. If you guys remember in the first one, he was going on the talk show to kill himself. Like, that's why he brought the gun and everything. He was going to shoot himself live on camera. But then Murray started making fun of him and making a joke out of him. And that's when he was like, nigga, fuck you. And then shot him basically. And then that's when he went to jail and stuff like that. So he's crazy, yes, but he's not insane. Like, he's not like the nigga that stabbed him at the end of the movie. That nigga will probably kill anybody. But I think Arthur Fleck was somebody that, is only going to kill people that were bad to him or bad to somebody he loved, basically. He wasn't just going to go on a killing spree and kill whoever the fuck. Which honestly was like a big idea or a big thought that I had going into this. I was like, yo, like, I can't see this man being a villain to Batman because this guy is not really a bad guy. Like, it's not like a full-on villain we've seen that will destroy everything for no reason. Like, he has morals, clearly. He has morals. So how is this man gonna go against Batman, who is the ultimate morality, and he's not even like on the opposite end of Batman? Like, Batman's the ultimate good, Joker's the ultimate evil, and that's why they clash so much. Arthur Fleck was like maybe 50% past that bar. Like, he kind of mirrors both of them. Like, he has morals, but he also kills people, which we can see from characters like the Punisher. Like, he's not all the way a bad guy. Like, he's more of an anti-hero than a full-on villain, honestly. In his world, in his mind anyway. He didn't really want to kill anybody that wasn't a bad person. He left the good people alone. He even really only killed his mom because she started like lying to him and and calling him, like ugly and shit like that. I don't know, just making fun of him. And she bullied him his whole life. She abused him and stuff like that. So go watch it for yourself. Thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Really, really enjoyed this movie. The director did say that there weren't going to be any more after this. Unfortunately, I think there was such a bad stink on this movie that it kind of just came out that, like, he's like, yo, if y'all can't enjoy this, then I'm not making a movie. Like, this movie was honestly, I don't think it wasn't better than the first one story-wise. The story-wise one is probably like a 10 out of 10 for the first one. This one's on like a 9 out of 10 story-wise, but it's still literally right there next to it. The cinematography inside this movie was better than the last movie, in my opinion. The shots were better in this movie. The characters were better inside this movie than the last one. The ending was probably better than the first one than this one, but that's because it ended off such a crazy ass note. This kind of ending was like the finale, the culmination of everything that's happening. It did create another character we've never seen before, like the actual real Joker. Go watch it yourself, bro. I can only, give praises for so long before, hopefully I convince somebody, stop following social media and just believing everything. Because I went into this truly believing it was going to be ass. I went into this truly believing this movie was going to be fucking terrible, bro. Like, I thought it was going to be a terrible movie. A very, 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 very bad movie. But I really liked it. I really liked this movie. Like, I very, very much enjoyed this movie. Go watch it for yourself. 9 out of 10 in my opinion. I'm getting the fuck up out of here. Check on your strong friends. Pray for your enemies. For knowledge, at least wish them well. Stop listening to social media, bro. I'm actually recording this after because I realized I forgot to never say the leak. What people thought that would have been. Or what people still think it is. It makes no sense to me. So I'm going to go ahead and say that right now. For some reason, as I said, the Joker at the end, cut the smile into his face and stuff like that. People are thinking that's Heath Ledger's Joker. And if so, you might possibly be like, you're a dumbass, bro. You might quite possibly be an actual idiot, bro. Because, I didn't get that from that. It makes no fucking sense at all. How would this even be Heath Ledger's Joker in this entire timeline? I think that was just kind of like somebody turning into the Joker, and that kind of like solidifies him becoming like the actual real Joker this timeline. Because, he carves a smile into his face and all that shit. Joker has the iconic smile. But I don't think that references Heath Ledger's Joker at all. A lot of people were saying, even the leak was like, yo, the ending of this movie has, it makes the connection to Dark Knight. Like, this Joker ends up being a prequel to Dark Knight. Like, it makes no sense, genuinely, bro. Because, like, how would this be Heath Ledger? The Harvey Dent inside this movie becomes Two-Face in this movie. So how the fuck would the nigga become Two-Face again inside the Dark Knight? Like, it's just too many inconsistencies for niggas to genuinely think that this Heath Ledger would be the same Heath Ledger inside the other movie, bro. Like, this is not the same Joker. This is a whole different timeline. It's not trying to make the fucking connection, bro. I don't think the director is that big of a dumbass to put Harvey Dent becoming Two-Face inside this movie, knowing that Harvey Dent becoming Two-Face is the biggest part of Dark Knight. Like, that would make literally no fucking sense whatsoever. If the director did genuinely mean for this to be a prequel to Harvey Dent or to Joker, I will take back everything I said inside this video. If he comes out like, yes, this was a prequel to Heath Ledger's Joker, and Heath Ledger's Joker was, the one that was originally inside this one. If he comes out and says that shit, I will take back everything I said in this video, and clearly director is a dumbass nigga. But if he never says that shit, then I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you stupid ass. I won't say too much crazy shit because I already got a strike on this channel. But, like, there's way too many inconsistencies for niggas to think that this is Heath Ledger's Joker inside this movie. It would literally make no sense. Like, this nigga inside this movie is like 20 already, so that would mean whenever Batman grows up, that Joker would be like fucking, I don't know, like 50 or some shit. Harvey Dent's inside this one already as Two-Face, so how would there be the entire scene of him becoming Two-Face inside the Dark Knight series? I'm pretty sure Batman is already like 20 inside this time. Like, it makes no fucking sense, bro. Like, if you think that, then you just don't know how to string movies together. I'm getting the fuck up out of here. Check on your strong friends. Pray for your enemies. At least wish them well. And I will see y'all next one. Peace.